Welcome back to Gaming. Today we have a very special guest. You know him from things such as Life. Welcome, Austin.
Um, I guess it's good to be. I'm glad to be back here again. Again. Um, yeah, I had fun the first time.
Yes, it was pretty good having you on. And that's what the audience is saying too. So for today's game, we're going to do a little bit of a rewind on the VCR, and we're going all the way back and talking about a very special classic game. We're calling this segment Classic Review. And today's classic review is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
Yeah, that's what I appreciate is that we're remastering older games that sort of have a archaic way of playing when they first came out. That it's like streamlined for a new audience. I appreciate that they do these remasters.
Yes, think of all the games that you wish you could play, but you can't because they're old. Now think about the games that you can play that were old but are now new, and they're pretty good. Um, and this game is pretty good as well.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the original. I never played it. I saw. I was watching the original show on that they had on wherever they had it. I was liking it, but then they got to that episode where it was like the two dudes and they were kissing, and I was just and I paused it right after just because it's not unsettling. It's a gory, unsettling show to watch.
Yeah, so I'm well acquainted with the franchise. I remember when The Last of Us 1 came out, and I said, "Oh wow, that game is out."
That must have been like how many years ago? Like 15 at this point.
Maybe. And then I remember, and then when Last of Us 2 came out, I said, "Oh wow, that game is out." And now here I am playing The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and it really just like brings me back to that time when I said, "Oh wow, that game is out." Um, and uh, as you're playing this game, you really get the feel of the story. Like you really think about it. It's like, wow, is Ellie going to do the thing that she thinks about doing, and will the bad person do the thing that they're thinking about doing?
Wait, the main character's name is Ellie.
Yeah,
I played it in Japanese without the subtitles on it. I didn't understand what they were saying.
yeah. So and the first part you play as Ellie, and then halfway through you switch perspectives, and then you play as Ellie, but she's taller and stronger.
I only got through the well because I only got through the main opening of the game because where was Pedro Pascal? I didn't see him in the.
No, yeah, he's only in the first one.
Well, originally I was gonna give it I think I was gonna give it a perfect 6 joysticks out of 6.
Yeah.
But now that I know that Pedro Pascal refused his role, it's just you can't have Last of Us without Pedro. He is the Last of Us.
Yes, that
He,
now that's a fair criticism to make. When you think of The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, your brain automatically goes to Pedro Pascal.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna have to dock the score down to 5 joysticks out of 5, and I'm gonna give it a nice little bag of quinoa.
Did you know that if you take Pascal and you rearrange the letters, you can get Scalpel?
I would change my score. It's gonna be 5 joysticks out of 5 and a little doctor's mask.
Very good. Um, yeah, so I really liked the game. There was a spot a little bit after the first hour where my computer just kept crashing nonstop because of it. But even taking that into account, and you have to take into account the story and the characters and the gunplay and the zombies, and taking that all into account, I will have to give my score a 4.5 joysticks out of 5. It was really good. Um, and yeah.
Yeah. And there's since I'm a guest here
Yes, that's
again,
what you are. You are a guest.
I just want to introduce a new segment, brand new
Please.
segment.
Yeah.
New segment. It's I'm gonna visit various um, famous video game locations.
Okay.
I'm out here in the woods. Um, you you walk through a lot of woods and hit the horror game Silent Hill 2. It's a very scary horror game. A lot of woods. You can see that there's some trees over there. There's a lot of darkness and a lot of woods. That was a good segment.
That was a pretty good one. I really liked it when we went to that place.
I went there.
I was there.